Hello everybody, Eugene speaking. Today we're going to look at how to develop a discrete choice experiment. Usually you should start with theory, but I haven't made this video yet, and probably I will do it as the next video on what is discrete choice experiment about. But I assume that you know what it is and you know why you want to do it. We will need several things if we want to design a discrete choice experiment. And we will need the following stuff here. First of all, we will need the idea. You need to know what exactly you want to investigate. Then you will need to have Qualtrics. It goes also with a free account, but if you want to download data and analyze data, you'll probably need to activate your free 30 days trial. Then we'll need the STT Conjoint tool, which is a free tool, and I will show you later how you can download it and how you can use it. You'll need a hosting, and usually it's not so complex. You just need to find any hosting, usually free, where you can upload a PHP file, so hosting supporting PHP file. And I think that was it. You need also a good editor. I used the Notepad++, but you can use any other editor which you need. What I would like to investigate is the meeting culture in our team. I promised to show my team how discrete choice experiments work, and I looked for an idea which could be interesting for my team. And my idea is that I investigate a meeting culture. And by this meeting culture, I have several aspects which I would like to take into account. And let's see, we call these aspects the attributes. And each attribute has different levels. Usually we start with 0. For this type of tools, it is not important, but sometimes it is important and you should start with 0. So I just do it in a traditional way, and there are different attributes of meetings which I would like to investigate. The first one is the format of the meeting. Oh, let's make format not the first one, let's take the meeting type as the first one. Meeting type. And meeting type, we can have like strategic meeting. We can have the operational meeting. We can have daily stand up, or we can have, let's say, the project planning. What else do we have here? I think we also have something like JORFix. This is typical from my team, at least weekly we have a JORFix. These are the meeting types which come to my mind. Also, although daily stand-up is not typical for my team, but my students think it should be there. I don't know whether probably I should delete it because it's for my team. These are the items I use. If you look for these attributes, there are two ways to do it. The first one is the deductive. If you look in literature, in our study on social costs of digitization, we found a paper which made a review on different types of costs, and we just took these attributes and levels from the paper, which is, of course, if you write a master thesis or bachelor thesis, this is the correct way to go. And if you try to resolve a practitioner's problem, then you should proceed more inductively and ask what are the important aspects, what should be included. In my event, I do it inductively. I know what kind of meetings I have, and I know what types I have in my team. The next attribute which I would like to take is the supervisor present. There are the options yes and no. The next one would be the agenda available. So we know precisely what we would like to do, or will we decide on the go? We have only the topic. Then we have, what else? We have the number of participants. And it cannot be 0, so it should be 2 to 5. The next one would be the, okay, it doesn't work, just a second. Okay, so you see that it didn't work. We have to format the cells correctly. We just select them, go to cell formatting, and we do them as text. So now it should work better. Let's say the meeting would be 2 to 5 people, then it could be 6 to 10 people, then it can be 11 to 15 people. It can be then 16 to 20. Actually, we don't have so many people in our team, but I assume that we may have some guests. That's why 21 is 25. This would be the maximum which I can use. What else do we have here? We can have the, let's see, I wrote them somewhere. Number of participants, the expected duration. Duration can be my first attempt I made a 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 minutes, which is a kind of too much. So I don't know if you have such a comparison where people have to select between a 15 minutes and 90 minutes meeting, probably it will not work. So probably we need to make it a bit simpler. So let's make the 30 minutes 45, then we make the 60 minutes, and we'll make the 75 minutes. I don't know, doesn't make sense. 75 and 90 minutes. Okay, let's leave it like this. The next one is the what I have here. I have the formats, and the format can be online or hybrid. We can have the hybrid meeting, why not? And the offline. And finally, I thought about including something like expected emotionality, because there are some meetings which are negative, like discussion of some problems and having something we don't like. Can be neutral or can be positive. What if we discuss our Christmas celebration? So this would be the main attributes. These are the things which came to my mind. I think as example it is sufficient, and then we will see. Okay, so now we need our nice tool, which is called the Conjoint self-development tool. And if you want to find it, you just go to Conjoint SDT, go to Google, you will find the GitHub link here. And by this GitHub link, you can find the files which you need. And you need this Conjoint SDT executable file, and you also need this manual. I found two things which are missing in the manual, and I think if we have them, it will make your life easier. That's why listen carefully, maybe it will save your time in the future. I have already downloaded the file, that's why I just start the Conjoint, where was it? Conjoint SDT executable. And what happens if I start it? I will have the window like this. It is constantly appearing on my second screen, but I think you will get the knowledge. I'll just show you how I add some items, and then the rest I will do during I post the video. The first one is the attribute, which I have, and I have it appeared on the second screen, just showing to you. And what do we have here? We have the nice meeting type. So we just call it meeting type. We go to the next one, which is supervisor present. The next one, which is supervisor present. You don't see it, it's on my second screen for some reason. The next one is the agenda available. The next one is the number of participants. Let's make it short, number of participants. The shorter the better, people don't like reading too much. Expected duration. The next one is the format. And the next one is the expected emotionality. And I think that I will delete this one, because at the end what I want to see is what kind of formats they would like to have online or offline. And this is not actually what I would like to have in this file. Okay, I just delete this item because I think it is theoretically wrong. And I add the next one, which is the expected emotionality. Because my main idea was not only to see what meeting they would prefer. Of course, everybody would prefer the positive meeting over negative. I would like to see rather in which format they would like to have it. Would they like to have it as a online or offline meeting? I'll show it to you in a second how we did. Okay, the meeting type, we click on the attribute and now we can add the levels. And the meeting type in our case is the strategic meeting. I give you already the first hint. Try to have the length of the words more or less the same. So you see the meeting time is much shorter than the expected emotionality. I don't know how to shorten it, but sometimes you can write it instead of number, writing N, instead of agenda available, agenda yes, or something like this. Okay, strategic meeting. The next attribute, the next level for this attribute would be the operational. No meeting. The next one would be the, if I see it correctly, project planning. Okay, and the next one would be JSOM. So these are the levels. If I go to the next one, I have to add the levels. Now I'm going to pause the video, and in order to make it not so boring, and you will just see in a second when it is already done. Okay, I'm done with entering my attributes and levels. I have the meeting types, I have the supervisor present or not, agenda available, number of participants, expected duration, and expected emotionality, and I have all the levels. Now we need to do the following. We go to settings, and by settings you see this window. The first option is randomize the order of attributes. It means each time I will see the comparison to options for a meeting, I will have sometimes meeting type as a first on the first place and sometimes somewhere in the middle. In most of the cases it makes sense. In my case it will make it a little bit confusing. That is why I will not use this option, but usually you should use this option. Then the randomization effect helps you to exclude the priming effects which you might have. Weighted randomization is about if one of the levels plays a higher role in your decision, for example, expected duration. Of course, if somebody could have a 30 minutes meeting and a 90 minutes meeting, they would go for the 30 minutes meeting. Or if there is negative and positive option, probably people would go for a positive option. In this case, you can use the weighted randomization if you know that one of the items is really crucial, and then you can add the weights. I don't use it here. My team is small, that's why I need more answers from each person. I would kindly ask them to make 10 decisions, and number of tasks, I would say 2 is sufficient. You have also other options where you can make some restrictions that some options never appear jointly. For example, JSOM in 90 minutes. Wouldn't make any sense, but I don't know exactly how it works, but would be interesting to know, or would be interesting to add it. And the attribute order constraint, that some order never appear or something like this. Then we have the 3 options here. We need only the first 2. We have to export this discrete choice experiment to PHP file and to Qualtrics file. We do the first one, PHP, then the question comes, what should it be, what is the name, and I call it mid-cult for meeting culture. Sure. Oh, let's make it correct. Meeting underline culture, which is the PHP file. And now I need to do the same for the Qualtrics. It will be the HTML file format, and I will call it again the same, meeting culture.html. Okay, let's click on OK, and 10 files appeared. Let's see what happened. You see that we have now the new file PHP and 10 different other files in HTML format. I will show you in a second why do we need them. Okay, now we have the PHP file, and now we need to make it available to the world. So people have to know it should be not on our computer, it should be somewhere else. For this I have my own hosting, but you can buy hosting, you can use free hosting. It should just support PHP file. So I go to my hosting, log in, and I have my own domain somewhere here, and I upload my file. I just use the upload. So the hosting, don't make too many thoughts, it's very simple. You just need to find a free hosting with PHP support, or maybe a cheap hosting with PHP support. Just upload a file, make it available. Okay, I click on open. Here comes the important thing, which I didn't show you, but I show you in a second. And now my file is available here. Let's look at this. If I copy this path, open a new file, and my new file was the meeting culture.php, then I see already the different stuff which appears here. Each time I renew the page, I see the different options. So this PHP file produces different options, different levels each time, and I can have the randomly selected formats for the meetings. What I didn't show you is that if you run your study not in English but in another language which has special characters, then it will not work. It doesn't show you the German letters umlaut as said. If you use Cyrillics, it could be a problem. for this, you have to open this file with any editor you have. I use the Notepad++, it's a free and very good editor, but there are many others. You can open it with any. Open with an editor, go to the last line, and here you have to add a line here. You have not add one word here. You just make a comma and you enter this nice thing, which I have already saved here somewhere, hopefully. No, it was not here. Just a second. I just copied. Be right back. This is this nice command here. JSON unescaped Unicode. And if you use specific characters, if you use a language which is different from English, you have specific letters like Cyrillics, then you should add this line. It is not in the manual, so please take care. Then we save it. And now the file can be uploaded. I don't have any specific characters, that's why I use the old version of the file, but if you have it, you will have to upload this new version of the PHP file. Okay, so we're done now. The next, what we have to do, we go to Qualtrics and we try to add our questionnaire to Qualtrics. How we do it? Simply log in. You can use the free account again and then activate the free 30 days trial somewhere at the end when you will have your data. I just log in to Qualtrics. And here I create a new, this is the old one I just deleted. Delete project. Yes, can be undone. And I create the new survey, which will be a blank survey. So get started. I call it the meetings BAO. BAO is the Business Administration Online, is my department. I create a project. And now you will see the regular blank project by Qualtrics. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a block because the first block will be the initial one, and with this one I would like to do something different. For example, I can add a text here. Dear team members, in the following, I would kindly ask you to indicate your preferences with regard to different meeting formats. And you add a text, you will see two options from which you will have to select one, and so on and so on. So you just add the text which you need here, which will be shown first. And then we come to the main question. We have to add a new question, and this should be the multiple choice question. And now look carefully what we do. We click on this text, we go to Rich Content Editor, and very important, we go to this one, this button here, this source code, because we'll need to add the HTML code here. Where do we take this HTML code? It has been already produced for us with this nice SDT Conjoint tool. You just open the first HTML file. You don't have to understand what is in there, just copy everything and put it back to Qualtrics. Where is my Qualtrics here? So instead of this text, you put your file here, data here, and now you have the first question. Let's look how it looks like. So we have the question 1. Please carefully review the options detailed below, and then please answer this question. Which of this, what would be not the choices? Okay, let's leave it as choice. Let's make it simple, but you can write, for example, meeting options, would you prefer? And then you write here option 1, option 2. We have choice 1, choice 2, and I would like to ask them not which of these two. Yeah, actually, which of these two would you prefer? Which of these two would you prefer? And then we write here the choice 1, and we write here the choice 2. And the third option, we don't need a third option, that's why we just delete this option. And then it is actually done. Now let's see what happens. Actually, it will not work, but let's see why. Here is the preview of the questionnaire. It's not published yet, it is just on your computer. So here comes the text. We go to the next question and it is empty. Why is it empty? Because look what happened. It introduced automatically some references to fields, and these fields are taken from somewhere. So we need these fields. If we go to our file here, you see these fields, we see the F11. It should be meeting type should stand here. And by F111 should be the operational meeting. So theoretically, we should see here the meeting type, and here we should see the operational meeting. But it doesn't work. So why? Because you see this data should be on Qualtrics. It refers to Qualtrics. There is no HTTP, so it tries to take data from Qualtrics, but it is not there. So we need to tell Qualtrics that there is some data which should be embedded. Here are the questions. We add a new element, which is the web service, and we just copy this link to our file. We add it here. Reassure that you have the get as a method. Click on test, and you see indeed it found all the information which was available. We need all fields, that's why we click on all and click on embed data. It will be 180 fields. Okay, let's take 180 fields. And then what we have here is the apply button. Click on apply and nothing will happen. I'll show you why. Just restart the survey, the preview again, and it is empty. Why? Because look at the structure. It starts with the first question, then the second question, which actual need, and only then it imports all the data. So it doesn't know that this data should be embedded. This embeddedness, or this embedding data, should happen before the question. That's why we go to move, and we just move this block above. So here, okay, and click on apply, and let's see whether something has changed. Restart the survey. We go to the next one, and ta-da! It works. So we have the two options. The first one, meeting types, is sure fix. The second one, operational meeting, supervisor present, yes, no. Which of the choices would you prefer? Which one would be the option you would like to go for? I hope it was helpful. So is there something what we else have to do? Let's go to the questionnaire. Yes, we have to add other questions. I'll just show you one more question how to add it. And at the end, you add also the demographics. Let's add a new question, which is again the multiple choice. We go again to text, rich content editor. We go to the source, and we take the next HTML file, which is the task2. Open it with Notepad, copy everything, paste it here, click somewhere, then it appears. Question 2, please carefully review the options. Now we have the one option too much. Here we write the choice 1, here we write the choice 2. And the thing which we have to add, which my students usually forget, is add a page break here, because you want to see them one option at once, not all options at the same time, because otherwise people will see all possible combinations. You don't want them to know it. You want to see them one by one. And then we add a block where you add demographic questions, for example, gender. What is your gender? And gender, and we make here the male, female, and binary, prefer not to say. Okay, one of the options, if you're in Germany, you would write here this, and prefer not to say. I would delete this option, and I would just make this question as not obligatory. By the way, very important here, click on each question, go to add requirements, and make it force response, because it is something what you really need, because it's the core of your research, and it should be not skippable. People have to answer the questions. Then you click on publish, you receive a link, and then you can send the link, and this will look pretty much like this. You will have, of course, nice text here. Then you go to the next question, and then you have the choice number 1, where you can select, let's say I would like to have the choice number 2, and then the next question, and in this event I would produce 10 different questions, and then demographics, and then you're done. For the video analysis, I have already done the video, which starts with downloading file from Qualtrics. You can just watch this video. You can find it somewhere on my channel. I have not so many videos up to now. Enjoy, wish you good luck with your discrete choice experiments. Design them carefully and wisely, use them wisely, and enjoy research. It is really fun. See you. Bye-bye.